A very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Big Stone Television. As you know, the series continues. The series of those great musicians, record producers, singers, and players of instrument. Those who are still here with us today, and those who have simply gone too soon. One of these great record producer and sound system owner is none other than Arthur Duke Reid. Duke Reid was born on the 21st of July in 1915. He was a Jamaican record producer, DJ, and label owner. He ran one of the most popular sound systems of the 1950s called Reid's Sound System, whilst Duke himself was known as the Trojan, possibly named after the British-made trucks used to transport the equipment. In the 1960s, Reid founded record label Treasure Isle, named after his liquor store that produced ska and rocksteady music. He was still active in the early 1970s, working with toaster U. Roy. Reid was born in Portland, Jamaica, after serving 10 years as a Jamaican police officer. Reid left the force to help his wife Lucille run the family business, the Treasure Isle Grocery and Liquor Store at 33 Bond Street in Kingston. He made his way into the music industry, first as a sound system, outdoor mobile discotheque owner, promoter, and disc jockey in 1953. He quickly overtook Tom the Great Sebastian and his sound system as the most popular sound system in Jamaica. Soon he was also sponsor and presenter of a radio show, Treasure Isle Time. A jazz and blues man at heart, Reid chose My Mother's Eyes by Tab Smith as his theme tune. Other favorites of his included Fats Domino, a noticeable influence on the early Reid sound. He began producing recordings in the late 1950s. Early Reid productions were recorded in studios owned by others. But when the family business moved from Pink Lane, Kingston to Bond Street, Reid set up his own studio above the store. He became a proprietor of a number of labels, chiefly Treasure Isle and Dutchess, his spelling. Much of his income derived from licensing agreements with companies in the UK, some of which set up specialist Duke Reid labels. He was known to carry his pistol and rifle with him in the studio and would sometimes fire them to celebrate a successful audition. He dominated the Jamaican music scene in the 1960s, specializing in ska and rocksteady. Though his love of American jazz, blues, and soul was evident, Reid had several things going for him that helped him to rise to prominence. He made a concerted effort to be in the studio as much as possible, something his counterparts did not do. He was known as a perfectionist and had a knack for adding symphonic sounds to his recordings and producing dense arrangements. Furthermore, his records were considerably longer than those being produced by his rivals. His tunes often broke the 4-minute barrier, while most of ska songs were barely longer than 2 minutes. The material that Treasure Isle issued exemplified the cool and elegant feel of the rocksteady era. In an interview for Cool 97 FM, Jackie Jackson, along with Paul Douglas and Ratcliffe Dougie Bryan, were asked about the many recordings they did together as the rhythm section for Treasure Isle Records and working with Sonia Pottinger and Duke Reid. Duke Reid made an impact with his presence at toasting battles, trying to outplay other DJs. He was dressed in a long ermine coat and a gilt crown on his head, with a pair of Colt 45 in cowboy ulster, a cartridge belt strapped across his chest, and a loaded shotgun over his shoulder. It was not uncommon for things to get out of hand, and it was said that Duke would bring the crowd under control by firing his shotgun in the air. Reid initially disliked ska for being too simple and having too much focus on drums rather than on guitar. However, he eventually got behind ska and produced numerous hits. Reid's ska production in the 1960s epitomized the absolute peak of the style, according to musician historian Colin Larkin. He had a long string of hits with performers like Stranger Cole, The Techniques, Justin Hines and the Dominoes, Alton Ellis and the Flames, the Paragons, the Jamaicans, and the Melodians. By the 1970s, Reid's poor health and the trend towards Rastafari influenced roots reggae noticeably reduced the number of releases from Treasure Isle. Reid forbade Rasta lyrics from being recorded in his studio, and thus Cox and Dodd was able to dominate the Jamaican recording industry. Reid maintained his high profile largely by recording the toasting of DJs U. Roy and Dennis Al Capone, as well as vaguely Rasta-influenced oddities such as Cynthia Richards' I. At around this time, Reid protege Justin Hines noticed his boss appeared unwell and recommended a doctor. Cancer was diagnosed, and Reid decided to sell Treasure Isle to Sonia Pottinger, widow of his friend Lenford Lenny the King Pottinger, an already owner of High Notes Records, which was one of the largest record labels on the island. He remained involved for a while, acting as a magistrate, but died in 1975. Reid was posthumously awarded the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander on the 15th of October 2007. Duke Reid. What a man, what a producer, what a recording studio. Duke was simply a great influencer of the ska and rocksteady era. At this time, as is customary, I want to take time out and wish the Reid family my heartfelt condolences. Condolences to an icon, a legend, a pioneer, a man who came and he did a lot of work for the ska and rocksteady era on into reggae music. Duke Reid, you was a legend, sir. A man who was a no-nonsense businessman. And a lot of artists, even the great ones, would speak about you blasting your pistols in the ceiling of the studio when you had a successful rendition. Duke Reid, I will always remember your songs. Most of reggae music is built on your production, and we want to say thank you for a job well done. Duke Reid, the legend, the icon, the pioneer, dead at 59 and simply gone too soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and of course share this video, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. Thank you so much for watching.